Alright, so I'm here to talk about the film Hotel Rwanda. It's PG-13. PG-13 for disturbing images, brief sexuality, and violence. Um, a lot of really graphic violence. It's from 2004. It's a drama. It's 2 hours long. 91% of critics on Rotten Tomatoes gave it a good review. The consensus being a sobering and heartfelt tale about massacre that took place in Rwanda, while most of the world looked away. And 94% of audience members gave this film a good review. And these reviews from the audience members and the critics are from the Rotten Tomatoes website. So just to give you an idea about how people who viewed the film and decided to say something about it on the site thought about it. Um, I'll talk about the premise now. Hutu Paul manages a hotel, Colinas, the Hotel Colinas, and lives a happy life with his wife and their three children. But when military forces initiate a campaign of ethnic cleansing against a local minority, Paul is compelled to allow refugees to take shelter in his hotel. As the UN pulls out, Paul must struggle alone to protect the refugees in the face of the escalating violence, later known as the Rwanda genocide. It's in English, and the film stars Don Cheadle, Sophie Okonedo, Joaquin Phoenix, Nick Nolte, Desmond Doop, David O'Hara, Fana Makona, Mathusi Magano, Laledi Kumalo, Kara Seymour, Hakeem K. Kazim, Tony Kagorog, and others. Anyway, this is the guy here who directed it, Tony George. Let's just see who the writer was. Okay, the director also wrote and produced the film as well. So, yeah, this film kind of reminds me of like why I love movies. This is a really good movie, and I cried. I never cry in movies. I never do. I saw this film maybe like a decade or two ago, a long time ago, and now that I'm actually taking a film a bit more seriously and uh, talking about them, I want to go back to films I saw before, just to have a more mature perspective on them now that I'm older. And this is a real feel of a film. I mean, I was feeling the feels like all the way through. I never cry films like I said, but I did with this one. Um, it's and as it stated in the critic consensus, yeah, the film does a pretty good job of focusing on one aspect of genocides and refugee crises in the world, where people who have the power around the globe to do something, they kind of don't decide not to do much about it, and they just like see it on the news. Oh, it's horrible, and then that's it for the people who are not actually in the situation that these refugees are in. Um, yeah, so great acting. Don Cheadle, I think this is his best role. I think he's most popular as being the Patriot kind of a superhero in the Marvel films these days. But yeah, this is one of his earlier works. Very good, powerful performance. And also another aspect about refugee crises, and like kind of a fact about the world is especially in a capitalist world where where money talks like straight up, is that a lot you see how the main character bribes as many officials and people as he can, like people in power, in order to protect the refugees who just through circumstance are under his supervision and under his care, and he tries to save as many refugees as he can in his hotel, which is becoming less and less secure and stable and safe throughout the course of the movie. um I can't really say, even though, like, I mean, I can't really say it's a happy ending, because even though, like, I'm not really gonna spoil it. Like, the main characters go through an arc and they have an ending that might be satisfying for them as characters. But the movie does show a lot of violence inflicted on the refugees by the military forces who overthrew the government there. And yeah, and it's also a good film about the UN. I mean, the UN has power when in some situations when they're trying to help, refugees or accommodate in genocides, and sometimes they don't. And this movie, I think, compared to other movies I've seen, like even compared to a lot of movies about like genocides and refugees, I don't think I've seen a better one than this in terms of like the drama mainstream film format. Like sort of like a three-act structure type of thing. You follow a protagonist who goes through an arc, and then um, yeah, and in whatever way his arc ends, it's kind of fulfilling for us, the viewers. Like if we focus on him as a character. But yeah, when it comes to genocides and refugees, I can't really think of a better film that really shows like how it affects a lot of people on the ground. In this case, UN soldiers, people in power locally, military officials, politicians, even business owners, and how they react to um, an escalating danger in their area, and yeah, just how they respond. And you see who's like kind of good essentially when push comes to shove. You see the humanity come out, and yeah, these situations do bring out the true selves of the people who are involved when they're faced with a life and death situation. So obviously, I recommend Hotel Rwanda, and I don't really know why I would not recommend it. There's not really a reason why I wouldn't, except that I would say it should be rated R, not PG-13, because the scenes of the massacre of the massacre in this film is very brutal, and it's done with such casualness as it as this massacre most likely was when it was happening. But yeah, it's PG-13. But besides like the maturity level, that's probably necessary for to sort of appreciate this type of film. Yeah, I definitely recommend it. I would say it's definitely one of my favorite films. Um, yeah, like out of all of them. So I'm sure this film won a decent amount of awards. So at the 77th Academy Awards, it was nominated but didn't win any, but nominated for Best Actor, Supporting Actress, Best Original Screenplay. Now to the films that it did win at the American Film Institute Awards of 2004, it won the Top Audience Award. At the 2005 Berlin International Film Festival, it won Out of Competition Award. At the Black Reel Awards of 2005, Sophie Okonedo won for Best Actress in a Drama. And at the 18th European Film Awards, the Best Composer went to Rupert and Andrea. Um, at the Golden Satellite Awards for 2004, Don Cheadle won for Best Actor. The film itself won for Best Motion Picture Drama and for Best Original Song, for nominated for Best Original Screenplay. At the Humanitas Prize, I guess awards. Yeah, I won the Humanitas Prize. At third Irish Film and Television Awards, it won for Best Director, Best Script for a Film. At the 2004 National Board of Review of Motion Pictures Awards, it was one in the top 10 films. Yeah, just a few. So yeah, I mean, I just finished it, and yeah, this film's gonna stick with me for a bit. Again, this is Hotel Rwanda. It's 2 hours long. It's PG-13, and 90+% of people who have decided to give a rating to this film on Rotten Tomatoes say it's a pretty good film, decent, obvious recommendation. All right, well, until then, y'all, take it easy. Peace.